Okay, so as I'm doing this anyway, this is a bit of a bonus video, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. May as well just hit record and, we'll go for it as we go along. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to create a primitive here. I'm going to create a primitive plane. Now, theoretically, I could do all of this in Blender, but I have found that the way Blender, because the y-axis in Giants Editor, as you can see here, is up and down, okay? That's not the same as it is in Blender. In Blender, its z-axis is up and down. There's no way to change that. You can mimic it, mimic a change by adapting the values in here. So if I select something, you can change this value here to something that might be more appropriate for a z-axis up, or a y-axis up, I should say, but that's literally just an emulator. Well, it's an EULA, but it's emulating, it's changing the axes in the viewport only as far as that goes. It's not actually locking that value in. So I don't know. There may be a way to change that I don't know of, and if you know, let me know. But in the comments. But when I've tried to do it in the past in Blender by creating all these parts and then exporting them out, they're not where I want them to be, or they're not where they should be. So I find it just as easy to do it here in the Giants editor as I would in Blender. Because if I do it in Blender, I have to change too much. I have to change things anyway. So I may as well do it here. So what I'm going to do is just stretch these out, scale them out to the appropriate size that I want on this. So we can sort of say we can do, I don't know, maybe 12 on that one. Okay. And then we can kind of scale this one out this way. So maybe we'll do, I don't know, 22 on this way, something like that, right? Again, it doesn't, just for this, it's not that important, but might maybe want to go a little bit further. Now, I apologize for all of this stuff, but it's just how I navigate in the Giants editor. You just have to deal with it. So yeah, maybe I'll go a little bit more. Might do maybe 24 on that one, just so I've got a bit of space, to work with. But the other way is perfectly fine, right? So then what I'm going to do is create some transform groups. So I want a main transform group, and then I want 3 inside of that. So I'm just going to do Control D like so, and then all of these I will put inside of that one, and then these 2 here, if I can actually get them to select, I'll put inside of that one. So this one here is going to be clear areas. Okay. This one is going to be clear area, oops, start. Yeah, that'll be fine. That's fine. And then what we'll do is we'll put that at the top. Now, if you're not sure what to name any of this stuff, base game, go to the base game and just look at any placeable. Doesn't matter what it is, because they'll all have something on there. You can go to like lizard, for example, whatever you want to look at. Again, it doesn't really matter. So you can kind of maybe take the hayloft, come in here and just see how it's done, base game, and then work from that. So if we go into here, you can see we've got clear areas and we've got start, width, height. Okay. So, you can set it up however you want, but, this is base game, and I would generally recommend to, follow or, copy what's done here as much as possible, because when you get to things like test areas, it's a little bit different. You just have a start and an end. Again, with the tip collision area, you just have a start and an end. They have to be placed in specific areas to make them work correctly. So, always have some kind of reference. It will help as you put things together, so if I've got another monitor, so I can put it on another monitor. If you don't have another monitor, you just have to kind of go between the two, but whatever works. So we have a start area. And what I generally do here sometimes is, if I have the other one open on the other window, I would literally just copy the name from the other one, and then I can just paste it in. It saves a lot of time having to type it you know it's going to be somewhat right. And I will actually just do the start one as well. Now, if you only have one set of clear areas, one set of level areas, you don't need the 1, 2, 3, whatever. So if I was going to have multiple clear areas, I would have clear area 1 start, clear area 2 start, clear area 3 start, and then the appropriate width and height. But it's the 1 and whatever is the number is not required if you only have one set of clear areas, one set of level areas, and so on. But it's always good to have it there if you want to change things later. You can just add clear area 2, clear area 3, and so on, right? Yes, so that's fine. And then you just need to kind of position them. Now, again, look at your, a base game one to reference where things are going to be. So here you have, let me get my nav speed up a little bit. You have your clear area start 1 here, then width is down here, and height is over here, right? Which is a little bit different to the way I generally do it, but that's fine. Because what you can't have between the start and the width is a negative on the X value, to my understanding, right? So that actually works fine, because here we've got 5 on the translate X. Here it's actually 0, because X is actually going out this way, so it's not translating on the X, it's translating on the Z in this case, so that's perfectly fine. Mine might be a little bit different depending on where, how things are kind of put together, but that's fine. So, I might maybe kind of try and reproduce that to, because if you look at mine compared to that, my x-axis actually goes through the object, whereas here the x-axis is going out and it's the z-axis that goes through the object. You have to kind of figure out and work around that in a way, that's going to get you what you want, sort of thing. So what I would do then is if I take this one, the width, this would have to go this way to make that work, because you can't have a negative on the X. So what I would do then is put this one over here. So if this is 24, I can do, let's see, I can do negative 12. I think this should work. That should be fine. And that one, so we'll do, where's this going? We can do negative 6 on that one. And then this one here will be a positive, right? We can do that one at 24. Then this one here will be 6, 12 on that one, right? We have our start point there, width as a positive on the X, and then this one as a positive on the Z, which is fine. That should be okay. Obviously, that's something we'll have to test, but I think that should work fine. And then what I can do, as in this particular scenario, my level areas are going to be exactly the same as my clear areas. So what I can do is I can pretty much duplicate this. So I'll just do Control D to duplicate that, put it into the appropriate place, and I just need to change the names. Okay, so again, using my the base game one as a reference, I can just come into here and overwrite these quite quickly. So, and then we know that they are now basically all set up, so that's fine. Then you have like indoor areas, so you can kind of do whatever you want with that, really. So perhaps maybe what I would do then is to duplicate this one Okay, and then, you know, again, change the names of everything. So if I go to here, do that. Oops. That. And that. Then, you know, you could move them into the relative, you know, the appropriate position that you want to kind of position them at. So, you know, maybe I would, let's see. Again, for this, I'm not that bothered. It's just going to be roughly placed for my indoor area here. So somewhere there would probably fine. Now this one, you might potentially need 2 indoor areas because you'd have a separate one for the this piece here. So that's possibly a good example of that. So we could then, you know, bring this one back to, oh my God, here, right? And then this one, bring that one back into wherever. Somewhere, we'll just say somewhere like that, perhaps. That'll do for this, right? Then I could duplicate this. So we'll just do Control D. I just need to change this for 2. Like so. And then this one here, if I can get this to work, could do possibly Control B and click. So it's just interactive placement. You can do edit, interactive placement, or Control B. Right, so we'll do that one there. And then this one, and we'll just kind of wing this one. So we'll do Control B, put that one there. And this will be 0 on that. And then this one, Control B and click. And that would be 0 on the X. Something like that, right? Okay. We have those set up. And then we have the test area. So test area is a little bit different because it only has two values in it. But you know, you can always use this if you wanted to, and then go from there. So I could duplicate this, put that into the appropriate place, and I can just delete that one, and then perhaps maybe delete that one. Doesn't really matter which one, and then overwrite all of this stuff. So we'll just do that. Test areas. This would be test area start. Area end. So now we would have something like this, and then I probably would just move it outside a little bit. So we just kind of go this way a bit, you know, something like that perhaps, and then this way a bit as well, you know, whatever. And then this one here, we'll move outside of there like so, right? And this one needs to go the other end, so it needs to go down this end, say here, and then it needs to go above the building, whatever the highest point of your building is. There may be a little bit of breathing room sort of thing. Okay. So when you place it, if there's any objects in that vicinity, not just on the ground, but above it or whatever else, it will see that area and know that it cannot be placed at least not without pressing the V key, the interactive placement thing, and overriding any objects that might be within the same area, right? So tip collision again is a little bit different. If I bring this one down, you can see here that we've got most of these things start from this side. If not all of these, they all start from this side, but the tip collision area starts from the opposite side. Okay, which is a little bit odd, but it is what it is, right? So you have to kind of match that with what we've got. So this only has two values, the same as the other one. So we can potentially do that using this same setup here. So I use the test areas. I just Control D that, put that up here. Not inside of that though. There. Why is it not working? There we go, that's better. Okay. So then I can do this. And we'll just update that. So we'll take the names, paste them in. Like so. And then this one here needs to be over there according to that. And all this stuff we can, I'll test all of this stuff out to make sure that it is actually what it is working the way it's meant to work, but that's theoretically the way it should work, right? According to whatever that is. So, but mine's a little bit different because obviously I've got as I say, my the X value or X axis is going through my object, whereas the base game one, the Z axis is going through it. So there might be some issues there, but we can we'll look at that and work around it as we need to, sort of thing. But going by what I've got, I think everything should work as intended. So then we have tip collision, which is basically just an object that goes around the building. So we can create that. So here what I'll do then is I'll just minimize all of that. We'll do create transform group, put that into there. And then I'll bring it down to here. And we can just do, take the name from there and paste that into there. And I'm just going to create a primitive object. So we'll just do save and we'll do create primitive cube. And then that can actually go inside of there like so. And we'll select this. Now what I do here with this is I move this up on the y-axis by 1. And that, or is it 0.5? Actually, it might be 0.5 by 0.5. Yes, it's 0.5. So move it up on the y-axis by 0.5. And then I go edit, freeze, translate. And this puts the origin point of that cube on the bottom of it. So what I can do now is when I scale this, so I'm going to scale this out. So we'll say, wherever, doesn't, again, for this, it's not important. But I'm just going to scale this out the appropriate sort of size, somewhere like so. When I scale the y-axis, because I've got the origin point on the bottom, it won't move the cube from where it is. So I can scale this down without the object moving underground or from where it is. So it just makes it a little bit easier, in my opinion, of positioning these sorts of things. So we'll do something like that. And then what I'm going to do is go edit, freeze transformation. I'll uncheck the translate and go scale and apply. Then I can just update the name of that. So I'm just going to go to here, copy that, and we'll just put in tipcol and done. Okay. That should be fine. And then obviously there are other collisions and things like that that need to be added in various different places. For this, I'm not going to get into all of that stuff for this. I'm just going to take the building itself and we'll make that the collision. But, you know, as a completed object, what I would do, obviously, is go in and add, you know, appropriate collisions to all the different areas that need to be set up. For this, I'm just going to make the actual objects themselves, you know, the collisions maybe. Otherwise, it's going to be, again, it's going to, well, yeah, I think I might do that. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so now I've got everything set up here as far as I want that. So perhaps maybe what I will do here, let's just see here. So yeah, that should be all I need to set up there. Let's go ahead and save that. But what I need to do though is obviously set the appropriate parts here. So if I go into this tip coal, so this needs to be a rigid body. I need to set this up appropriately. So this is why it's always good to have base game stuff so you can actually see what's going on. So this is a collision and it has a value of that. Okay. Can't paste that directly in here. It needs to be pasted in here. You need to click on the browser thing here to open this up, then just paste in the hex value of whatever it might be. Click OK, and then it will lock it in. This is a static object, so we can come in here and go cast receive shadow, non-renderable, and that's all you need to do there really. Leave on this one. We will do distance blending as well. Don't know that that really matters, but it's on the other one, so we'll tick it. Why not? Okay. Can't hurt. So we got all of those values there, and that's now not visible. It's not renderable, but it is obviously there. So that's good. And you can even come in here if you want to turn the visibility off, so it's not visible in the viewport and everything. But that's fine. So that's all good. So go ahead and save that. And I think for this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cheat here. I'm going to just click on this. Now, I don't know if this will work with mesh skinning. That's the problem. Might cause a problem here. I might have to actually, yeah, I think it probably would do. So I'm probably going to have to create separate collisions for all of this stuff, which is fine. That's okay, I guess. So, probably something that I should have done prior to this, but that's okay. Doesn't matter, we can come back to that. So let's do that. Let's close this so I don't accidentally muck that up. And then what I will do, see if I go back into Blender here, I will create some collisions for this. Actually, let me just get rid of that. The building I'm not bothered about, that can just be a collision of its own. But the doors here, I think I'm going to need to potentially create a proper collision for this. So I think what I will do then is let's do this and do Control I, hide. I think what I will do here is let's do this. Actually, I probably could do this. Yeah, let's do this. So if I do that, do I want to do that? Yeah, let's do this. Shift D, P, separate by selection. So if I then go into here, I do E and snap it to that vertex there, that should now create me my collision for that. So if I do this, we'll do Shift N to recalculate the normals. Okay, and I'm going to do Control E, clear seams, and we'll do, let's see, I'll use hard ops for this, so I'm just going to recalculate the sharps, which will smooth it out. But you could do that manually. Just right click, go shade auto smooth, and then you need to mark all your edges. So if I go into edit mode here and turn this on, I've got my sharps marked. Hard ops will do this in one button click. Vanilla Blender, you have to do a little bit more extra work, but that's okay. That's fine. This one though, I don't need the armature because it's not, it's going to be a child of a bone, so it doesn't need that, and it also doesn't need all these vertex groups, so I can basically delete all of those because I don't need any of that. And then what I will do here is, let's see, where is the origin point for that? Okay, that's fine. What I possibly will do here then is let's set the origin to center mass, and see if this actually works. If I do this, shift select this, I'm going to use hard ops, Alt X, actually this won't work because it's going across an armature, and it won't work. Got hiccups now. Okay, that's fine. So what I'll do is I'll reset the origin to a 3D cursor, then I'll do Alt X and I'll mirror it. Okay. Then I'm going to go into hard ops, operations, smart apply. We go into edit mode, P, loose parts, and they are now their own individual object. Okay, if I bring back the doors, we can see that they are now collisions for the doors. So that should be fine. So what I will do then is I'm going to change the material name here. So we'll just do something like, I don't know, Carl underscore matte. Shift select that one, copy material to selected. That should be fine. We'll just make sure that there's no obscure rotation. No, that's good, excellent. I might leave, I don't know whether to leave that there or not. I don't know. Let's see. Will it really matter? Yeah, I think I'm going to set the origin to the center mass on both of these, like so. It should be fine. Yeah, and then let's see. So if I name this one that, and this one like that. Oops. Oh, okay, that's fine. So that one is that one. It's going to be that, and that one is going to be that. Okay. So let's update the mesh data. Fine. And yeah, that should be okay, I think, for that. That's okay. The other stuff I'm not bothered about if it's collidable or not, as far as that goes. I just can't walk through the door. That's the main thing there. So what I'll do then is if I take those, and then I'll just go in here, I wonder. Yeah, let me actually just do this. If I go to here, I'm going to, let's make that kind of a bluish color, something like that. There we go. The reason why I do that is because the way Giants works is it uses the base color, and if you have every object exactly the same base color, it all gets merged into one object, or one material, I should say. And I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to give them a slight color there, so to avoid that problem. Then we'll go here, and I'm just going to go to here, and we'll do, just going to call this door coal. That'll be fine. Set, export selected. So now what I should be able to do then is if I go to my folder here, I will be able to drag that in like so, and then it will give me a lot of extra stuff because of reasons, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. So what I need to do then is set this up to the correct place. So this is door 01, so that will go into there, and this one will go into there, and this I can delete. Okay, so now if I come into here, if I do this one, rigid body, and I do that, don't need tangents, then I'll do this one, rigid body, there, and there, don't need tangents. Now, what should happen here is when I rotate this door, this collision should follow it, okay? So if I rotate that door and click on the collision, you can see it's moved with the door, right? And that is what we wanted to do. So that should be fine. But I need to also have that on the clone, the original, you know, the animated version, I should say, because otherwise it won't work properly. At least I don't think it will. So what I'm going to do then is, let's see if I can actually get this to do what I want it to do. Well, let's save that because that should be fine. And we can go to Viz building, and we'll just make the whole building a rigid body. That's fine, doesn't matter in this case. Yeah, don't care about any of that. That's fine, that'll do for now. We'll go ahead and save that. And then what I will do is, pretty sure all of that should now be as it needs to be. At least for now. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's delete the planes. We no longer need that. We'll go ahead and save that, close that down. What I will do then is, let's see. If I take this and Shift S, cursor to origin, Alt G, to put that back in the center there. What I should be able to do here is, again, take these, because I no longer need them there. Let's delete that. Then what I'll be able to do is export selected. And if I then go back into here and do door animation, so if I then go here and drag that to there, should be able to take this one, put that in there, put that in there, and delete that. Go to here. Should be fine. We could do the same here. So rigid body, that, don't need tangents. Do the same with this one. Rigid body. That. Don't need tangents. Okay. That should be fine. Just to check, if I go to here, let's bring back the animation window. If I scrub through that so it opens, and then go to here, you can see the collision has followed the door, which is what we want. Okay. I'll just reset that. There we go. That should be fine. We're going to go ahead and save that and close. Okay, so it might be 2 bonus videos because this has gone on for a little bit longer than I wanted to, but that's okay, it's fine. So what we're going to do then is, actually I might just do the other video as a, non-bonus video. Not that it's a bonus video anyway, I'm just going to include it all, but I wasn't intending to do this video in the first place, but which is why I call it a bonus video, but you know what it is what it is, right? So I think what I will do is we'll actually set all the XMLs up and all those parts next.